Welcome to this course.
Imagine the previous set of distracting sounds while you're trying to listen to an important message. Now imagine these distractions all day at school, every day at school, and in all areas of your life. This is the life for a student with ADHD. Perhaps some of you have a personal understanding of ADHD and the difficulties for students in today's classrooms. The artifact we intend to create will be a website designed for teachers to find information about brain diversity, executive functioning, and classroom strategies and interventions. Other professionals who might find this information useful include parents of children with ADHD, the students themselves, and possibly people from the medical community.
In the website, the authors plan to tell their story about their professional and personal connections with ADHD. In our research, we chose to reference the definition of ADHD directly from the DSM-5 for clarity and consistency. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder is a common, complex genetic and treatable disorder that affects brain function and everyday aspects of life. Individuals diagnosed with ADHD struggle with attention, cognition, and working memory, and often demonstrate unregulated behaviors in the classroom that educators must manage to help these students learn. According to the Centre for ADHD Awareness, Canada, ADHD affects 5 to 9% of children in Canada and impacts all ethnicities and socioeconomic statuses. According to the Children and Adults with Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, educational outcomes indicate 32% of students with ADHD drop out of high school, compared to 15% of students with no neurological disorder. ADHD has a profound effect on the life choices of students. As a result, educators must understand and apply effective teaching practices to support students with ADHD.
Unfortunately, there are many misconceptions about ADHD. Some of the misconceptions we revealed through our research include the disorder does not exist, that all children have symptoms of ADHD in one form or another, that if it does exist, it is grossly overdiagnosed and overtreated, and that the treatment is dangerous and leads to a propensity to drug addiction. Many educators believe that ADHD is a behavioral issue, but on the contrary, studies show that individuals with ADHD have structural and functional differences within their brains that impact how they learn and retain information. When teachers understand this biological disorder, they will be able to apply necessary teaching strategies to support learners with ADHD. Executive functioning is the set of skills that allows us to control our behavior, regulate our emotions, organize information, make plans, and control our impulses. A simple explanation for executive functioning is to think of it as the boss of the brain. Students with ADHD often have a deficit of executive functioning skills. The good news is that we're not born with developed executive functioning skills. We learn these skills over time as we grow. Therefore, if we can provide direct teaching, the time and space for students to practice, these skills can improve.
Universal teaching strategies provide flexible options for students to be successful. 5 proven effective strategies include 1. Plan lessons where students are physically engaged in an activity. For example, include posters around the room to write on, vertical learning surfaces where students write on vertical whiteboards, or use computer programs such as Jamboards to help support active lessons. 2. Integrate student personal interests into the lesson to develop engagement. 3. Assess students verbally. Use speech-to-text options for students to write. Provide opportunities to draw to express their knowledge. 4. Build in executive function support by providing checklists for students to work through on assignments. 5. Create a working environment where students can stand or walk around while working. These universal strategies support all learners in the classroom while proactively supporting students with ADHD and other learning challenges. To understand the biological differences in students with ADHD, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, is a tool for developing and comparing brain development. Using MRIs mitigates the risks for children and focuses on the effects and neural developmental function in individuals with ADHD. Studies analyze the neuroimaging of individuals to understand ADHD. Findings indicate differences in brain structure in individuals with ADHD compared to typically developing students. Overall decreased brain volume in individuals with ADHD result in dysfunction of the brain's prefrontal section, which is linked to response inhibition, delay aversion, and executive functioning skills. Current studies indicate that cognition is a function of specific parts of the prefrontal cortex. Therefore, with deficiencies in the prefrontal cortex, cognitive function is impaired. Consistent evidence suggests that specific brain regions are hindered in individuals with ADHD, thus providing reasons for learning challenges, specifically encompassing planning and organization of thoughts to retain and recall conceptual ideas as these cognitive functions are activated in the prefrontal cortex.
In order to create an interactive site for teachers to gather and share information, we will include a comments section and a blog which will be used to share the comments which educators might find useful. We also intend to utilize social media to promote our website. A few additional areas we plan to explore include a space for self-advocates to learn and connect with others, a space for parents to learn and contribute ideas. We're also considering creating self-paced modules as well as pre-recorded webinars.
Thank you for listening and viewing our presentation. We look forward to hearing your feedback. Please see the following slides for our references.